meeting at 7:06.
Here.
Okay, new business. In our executive session, we discussed a building inspector. Do you have any comments? Any motion?
I would like to make a motion that we hire the full-time building inspector that we discussed in executive session, at the salary we discussed in executive session, contingent on background screen, primary source verification of credentials, and drug screen. And with his acceptance of the position, we'd like to give our current building inspector a 2-week notice.
I second the motion.
Roll call.
Jan Smith,
Yes.
Tony Brady,
Yes.
Nancy Ray,
Yes.
Brad Cook,
Yes.
Vivian Bean,
Yes.
motion passed.
Okay. Next item is in the workshop. I provided you with some information on the placement pads for the AED. I think we need, obviously they're outdated, 2010, I believe, is the time I looked at. I'd like to have a motion to purchase new pads for the AED.
Make that motion.
For the adult pad.
Yes, the adult pads.
A second.
Jan Smith,
Yes.
Tony Brady,
Yes.
Nancy Ray,
Yes.
Brad Cook,
Yes.
Vivian Bean.
Yes.
Okay, next thing, reports of committees. Planning and zoning, did you have anything?
Now we
Oh, we took Charlie.
scratched planning and zoning and budget and finance.
Oh, we did, I'm sorry. I will say on behalf of the GUS that we did have a GUS board meeting. And I will no longer be the spokesperson of the GUS board meeting. We have now a president of the GUS board who will give all reports regarding the GUS board. And I don't believe she is here tonight. So hopefully next month she will be here. In activities committee. That would be great.
Yeah, that would be me. I had mentioned doing this earlier this year, and I had the surgery and recovered from that perfect. So ready to start putting something together. Anybody that may be interested, just kind of a monthly get together with folks that want to get together and discuss what's going on.
Okay, so
Let
you
me know.
Okay, so you don't have anything planned, like a fun run or a,
Nothing yet.
okay. No, that's what you're gonna have, you asking for help to do that, okay. Okay. Next item is any public comment. We have any public comment? Stand up, state your name and address, please.
It's Leslyn Weathers, 13210 Allison Drive, Lakeview. And my question has to do with, I know you canceled the public hearing, and I'm under of the understanding if there's no documents to look at, your public hearing notice out here says it's to approve entering into a utility services agreement and related agreements. So where are those agreements?
That was Paul's project. Since he has the flu and is not here, that's the reason it has been tabled.
So as a council, you were going to have a public hearing, but you couldn't elaborate or share any basic information because you were going to ask for us to have a comment to you.
Again, Paul has that information. He is not here. It will be rescheduled at a separate date.
Okay. Thank you.
Let me add a comment, please, about that. The public hearing is about the town entering into negotiations with the GUSC.
I think that's what your notice said.
That's what the hearing will be about. There are no documents, there is no negotiations to share with you. The negotiations have not started. because we're looking for public input, public hearing on negotiations between the town and the GUSC.
But that's not what your notice out there said.
Okay, anything else? Okay. You know the routine.
Mike Fisher, Broadway Drive. Tony, at the meeting we had last week, you brought up about that safe room was gonna be out back, correct?
Yes.
Okay, now, you may have thought about this, may have it. Now, regardless of whether it goes sewer or septic system, you know there's gonna be 3 sewer lines back here also, if they go sewer. Now, if it goes septic system, the septic tank lines is gonna be back there also. I don't know where it even I don't know how big the building is or exactly where it's gonna be, but someone needs to keep those 2 things in consideration when they go forward with that building.
Yeah, I did meant to mention earlier that we do have to contract with Encompass 360 and the work taking us forward with the safe room that's started. As far as the sewer and septic and that sort of thing, I don't have any information on that. Thank you.
If we don't have any other public comment, we'll go to,
I have a public comment.
oh, I'm sorry.
Daniel Griffin, Eddie Drive. At the special meeting, y'all had Rhonda Brantley. From what I've seen, she gave a little bit of a presentation about the pros and cons of sewer versus septic for the town hall, correct?
Yeah, I believe she was here, yes.
Okay. I would just like to know why it is that the council is entertaining what would be a knowledgeable input about the pros and cons of the system from someone who does not have civil engineering, environmental engineering, or any type of detailed work history involving a sewer. And what is her professional what's her professional expertise that qualifies her to advise the council on the benefits of these 2 systems?
I believe she'll be here next month, and you can readdress that question to her, because I'm not gonna answer for her.
Fair enough.
I was in that special meeting, and what I heard her sharing was she was giving information about what she had discussed with Thornton and what she had discussed with other people, and she was sharing information with us. She was not making a recommendation, I don't think, not in my opinion.
Well, I'll make a comment on that. In my opinion, it was a sales pitch. And I asked, and I can wait 2 minutes and go down because I know you're gonna call me the first. I'll shut up and wait just a minute. I'll tell you that.
Okay. Council input, Jan, okay, you're first.
There we go.
Council input. There you go.
Is there anybody else?
I'm sorry, is there anybody else?
I got a quick question. My name is Ben Hudson. I live at 2290 McGehee Drive. You mentioned you had a new member because you're not the acting member anymore. Nancy, that's your name, right?
Yes, but I didn't say I wasn't the active member, I just said, I am the chairperson of the GUS,
Yes.
but we now have some I'm on the board of directors of the GUS,
Yes.
and I am the chairperson.
I think I
We
missed-
chose to elect some officers.
Okay.
and-
Did you
and-
have her name?
Her,
Did you
yeah,
tell us?
the new officer, the new president, who will also be the spokesperson, is Rhonda Brantley.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Jan, did you finish? I'm sorry.
I hadn't started. I was
Oh,
gonna
okay.
let our public input.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Is there anybody else in the public that would like to make a comment before the council makes theirs? Okay, well, I'll start the golden egg. First and foremost, I was at that meeting as well, and I did ask, which we don't have the minutes for that meeting, but I did ask, why was she the one representing the council? Or who had chosen her from the council to be giving us this information, and I was danced around. So I don't appreciate that when there was a meeting that had been held earlier that day, which you were the chairperson of, Nancy, which y'all did change your bylaws, and you did add a non-voting member, and it could have been at least addressed when I asked the question. I accepted the position on this council, did not have to be elected because nobody chose to run against me. But I chose to work with each and any person that was elected on that council, and I stated that before the election. I still have that promise to work with each and every person as long as it is transparent, we answer questions truthfully to one another, don't give these vague half answers, or act like there hadn't been a meeting, or refer back to something 3 years ago when there was something that had happened that day, less than 6 hours to when I asked a question. I do not like to be lied to. I like to be told the truth. So that is my personal opinion of what has been going on, that you must keep all council members up to speed of what's going on. If this is the first council meeting after the changes of the GUS, the new president that is your speaking president hasn't missed a council meeting in months, so I do think that is very strange, and I'm giving you my honest opinion. I also want to know what the qualifications were for her to be presenting that to the council. If it was just her opinion, it needed to be stated her opinion only. Hold on, I'm not through, but I'm not exactly happy at the moment.
Okay.
The other thing, and I'm gonna skip to something else because I was making notes. We as a council has went forward with a safe room, which we have all agreed upon. Up until us talking, we had not heard anything about a site being agreed on in the back of the building. When we discussed it as a council, we was talking about how perfect a safe building would be in our parking lot so people with handicaps could pull up and go in. I kept my mouth shut on that meeting, but I never heard of anything in the back of this building. There again is another subject we need to all be up to speed, and if that agreement has been made with somebody in this contract, the other council members need to know. Not it being told to us. I can stand up and move around.
Oh, that's fine.
I don't mind, I like to.
Okay.
So we all know what's going on prior to it, something coming out of the air to us in a council meeting. I think that's fair. We're all adults here.
Okay.
I would like that to be done for each of us as council members. If we are honestly going to work well with each other for the betterment of our town and our citizens. And I'll keep my mouth shut about anything else tonight. Thank you. And thank y'all for coming.
Thank you for your input, Jen.
Can I answer a question that I think you asked?
You have the floor?
As far as the site location for the safe room, we have hired and made a contract with someone to help us with that project. So my understanding is that he will make recommendations to us of where to put the safe room. And there was discussion during the meetings of where to put the safe room, but no, it is not in concrete by any means because the project is only just now baby steps.
Okay,
Baby
now,
steps.
do you mind if I make a comment back?
Sure.
Because in the meeting other night, it was insinuated that the site of the safe room, which was stated more than once in that conversation that night, that it was gonna be out back, so the septic wouldn't even be considered. And if you go back to our special meeting and look at how it was listed, it said septic, we're talking about septic. It didn't say sewer. But we got off on septic and did not talk about septic. We talked about sewer, and we had a sales pitch on sewer. So we need to be very careful when we advertise something that we're not having a violation of any kind of ethics. And me and my mouth, I can always get in very much trouble for out speaking. But if we're gonna do it right, we need to do it right. If we post something, that's what we're gonna do. We're not gonna get off topic because it is a special meeting. And John, you may tell me I'm not saying ethics, but it may be some other law we're violating because we brought up another subject that's not even posted to be discussed. So, y'all can continue. As you can tell, I just wasn't happy about everything that went on other night.
Point taken. Vivian, do you have
I
anything?
want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. It's a pleasure to see this room half full. It really is. You are our citizens. We try to do the best for you, and thank you for coming.
Brad, do you have anything?
I don't have anything.
I don't have anything, I think we,
Can we come back to me, because I didn't.
oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. I didn't realize you weren't finished.
Again, just, we'd like to reiterate that we appreciate people coming. We do listen to what is said to us, regardless of whether it is said in a meeting like this, or it comes by telephone, or email, or whatever. We do listen to what people say, we consider what they say, before proceeding and making decisions. It is a difficult place to try to serve everyone when there is such a diverse wants and needs of people in the town. So it is a difficult position. I think those of us that are doing it are trying to do the best that we can. And again, I would like to reiterate that we do appreciate your feedback, and want you to keep talking to us, and we will keep listening and trying to move forward with the best information that we have to make the best decisions for the people of the town of Lincoln.
Anything else from the council? Okay, our meeting schedule, court, all right, the next council meeting will be February the 8th. The court is next Tuesday. January the, what is that, the 16th. Planning and zoning is January the 22nd. If there's no other business, I'll make a motion. Thank you for coming. I did.